And this is the LG V10 versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. This is a battle of two heavyweights. You got the LG V10 with its strong build. It has titanium pillars, a rubber plastic back, but it's a rubberized plastic back that definitely gives you a lot of grip. 5.7-inch Quad HD display with little bezels and a secondary screen. The phone fits pretty good in your hand. It is bigger than the Samsung, but it definitely feels good in your hand. You don't feel like you're gonna drop it, but it's still a big phone. Now, Samsung has found a way to put a phablet size screen into a phone's body. This is a glass on glass build with aluminum frame, and it has this curved stack which makes the phone really fit good in your hand, along with the small side bezels, small bezels tops and bottom. They've really found a way to fit a phablet screen in a phone's body, and it definitely looks the part. Now, let's start with the screen. Both of these, like I said, 5.7-inch QHD display. This is like a LCD type of display, and it's a great display. You're gonna see everything nice and vivid, your videos and everything, but it can't beat an AMOLED display, especially from Samsung. Samsung just knows how to do an AMOLED display. So when it comes to display, we definitely gotta give it to Samsung. They got a better display. Now, when it comes to the body and the build of both these phones, we're talking about looks department, we're talking about when you put your phone down on a bar table, or you're in a restaurant, you put your phone down, you're definitely gonna look like the boss with the Note 5. The Note 5 is gonna just catch that attention of everyone. Everyone knows this is a top of the line phone. So in the looks department, you're gonna definitely get that with the Note. The Note just honestly looks awesome. Now, when it comes to the LG V10, the LG V10 has a great look, and I know a lot of businessmen and a lot of men is gonna love this phone because of the build that it has, which I love as well. But at the same time, it is not as glamorous as the Note, but it's definitely a good looking phone, real strong, and with this rubberized back, you don't feel like you're gonna drop the phone. So when it comes to the looks department, we gotta give it to Samsung. But when we talk about strength in the build, we gotta give it to LG. LG just got a strong, beautiful phone as well, but it definitely got it in the strength department. Now, when we're talking about the buttons, LG got the buttons in the back with the fingerprint scanner, and Samsung got the power button on the side, the volume button on the other side, and no matter how you hold the phone, you're gonna find the buttons. Not a problem. And typical Samsung, they got the home button at the bottom, which doubles as a fingerprint scanner, and it works all the time. Cannot say the same thing about LG and their fingerprint scanner. Their fingerprint scanner was so, I wouldn't say bad, but 2 years ago, this would have been a great fingerprint scanner. But now that fingerprint scanning has gone so great, this is a couple of steps behind. So I had to disable it because it was pretty much becoming annoying and unusable and ruining my relationship with this phone. So I had to disable it. So when it comes to the button placement, I like the button placement in the back. But when it comes to the fingerprint scanner, I gotta give it to Samsung. Cameras. Front-facing camera, LG and Samsung decided to go with 5 megapixels. The only difference is LG got 2. And these two 5 megapixel cameras, one works as a regular 5 megapixel camera, and one 5 megapixel camera, the other one is for groupie shots. When you want to get you, your friends, plus the classmates in the class, you can get a lot of people with that secondary camera in the front. So when it comes to front-facing camera, even though both of them is pretty much the same type of quality, I got to give it to LG because they added an extra one. Now, when it comes to the back camera, things get a little interesting because both of these phones are rocking 16 megapixel cameras. But LG added laser autofocusing, dual LED flash, and it just works. You can do everything that you want to do manually on this phone. Of course, you can set it in auto and let it do whatever you want to do for its own. You could put it, you could put on HDR like I normally do. But if you want manual settings, you're gonna get more manual settings on the LG V10 than on the Samsung. But Samsung also has its flash, also has a great 16 megapixel camera that takes awesome day shots and night shots along with LG. So both of them are pretty much on the same level. But when it comes to the camera app, you can do more manual stuff on the V10. But Samsung got something up their sleeve too. Samsung got dual video. Samsung got dual video, and that dual video has worked out great for me. I really do like it. And they both run in 4K. But when it comes to 4K, LG got the upper hand, because LG can do like 25 minutes of a 4K video. Meanwhile, Samsung, you can only do 5 minutes. So when it comes to all of those things that I had to look into, I had to go with LG, because LG, you can do a longer 4K video with LG, and I can't do any video 5 minutes. So I'm sticking with the LG when it comes to that camera. When it comes to battery life, they both rocking micro USB. Now, micro USB, we all know that's old, but since both of them got it, it's pretty even. And both of them got fast charging, which works. But Samsung got something up their sleeve. Samsung got wireless charging and fast wireless charging. Now, LG, you can buy the proper back and you can get wireless charging. But since it doesn't come straight out the box with wireless charging, I'm going to keep it straight up. They don't have wireless charging. Fast charging is there, but when it comes to battery life, how long will each of these phones last? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, with the LG V10, I can kill this battery in 8 hours. With Samsung, I can't. I can't kill this in 8 hours. After 8 hours, I still got 40% left, no matter where I put the screen brightness. But both of these phones don't have that doze feature as yet. I don't know with the update, will that pop in and give them that option? But for right now, I can say, cold hard honesty, the Note 5 just got better battery life. It'll last you all day. Meanwhile, by the time you finish work, you're going to be looking for that outlet to plug this phone in. Both of these speakers are really honest, good speakers. They both sound good, and I really can't choose which one is the best. Let's go with Samsung. Now, when it comes to both these speakers, they both sound good, but I gotta give it to Samsung. It just sounds a little bit better. Samsung just got it more clearer. It sounds much more better quality. There you go. It just sounds better on the Samsung. So when it comes to these mono speakers, they're both excellent mono speakers, but I gotta give it to Samsung. Now, when it comes to the gimmick versus gimmick, and I'm not saying both of these, any of these are things are gimmicks, but I gotta name it something. Samsung got this S Pen, and the S Pen is very exciting for me when I first got it because I was able to do this. I was able to whip out that S Pen and pretty much start writing on the screen, and it just made sense to have that. Just in case you need that number, you're able to whip out that pen and you're able to get that information from that young lady that you want that number from. It just works. Now, when it comes to LG, LG got that secondary screen, and I found it to become very useful. Number one, I like it. Number two, when I get a phone call and I'm still flinging around doing what I got to do with my phone, I'm able to end that phone call right there. Just going up to that top screen and ending that phone call. My messages come through that second screen and it just works. Now, it might be a little bit more of a gimmick than the S Pen because the S Pen definitely got a lot of uses, but I definitely like it. But because the Notes pen got more going on than that secondary screen, I gotta give it to the Note 5 for that S Pen. So in that gimmick department, we gotta give it to the Note 5. Now when it comes to OS versus OS, now of course they both rocking Android, but they both rocking a skin over Android. So LG's UI, I've gotten used to. I don't have no problems with LG's UI. I use it, I like it, it's fine with me. I don't have no big issues with it. But with Samsung, I definitely had issues when it came to TouchWiz. But I gotta give it to Samsung. They've added themes. And they added themes that you're able to go with a material design like I did right here. And I definitely like it. So when it comes to the OS, because of what I can do with the themes with Samsung, I gotta give it to Samsung when it comes to the themes. So when it comes to TouchWiz versus LG UI, I gotta give it, right now I gotta give it to TouchWiz. Now, when it comes to RAM, they both rocking 4 gigs of RAM. Now, I haven't heard people talk about this, and I really don't care, because I find it an issue. I find that the 4 gigs of RAM on the Samsung is not being utilized properly. So in other words, when I'm scrolling through my social networks and stuff like that, I want to be able to go through my social networks with no issues. With Samsung, I got issues scrolling through the social networks. I get into that infinite loop, especially on Tumblr. I get stuck where it freezes, where like the phone don't know what to do, and it happens more often than it should. The V10 utilizing that 4 gigs of RAM is definitely a better experience on the V10. Why? Because it just works better. I don't get those same crashes. I don't get those same issues like I do with Samsung. So there's something going on with TouchWiz, or TouchWiz itself, or the S Pen, or it's having so much extra features that it's not utilizing the RAM properly. But LG got that really tied down. It just works better. I don't get no crashes. I don't get no slowdowns. I don't go into no infinite loop when it comes to LG. When it comes to these two top-notch phones, we're talking build, which phone fits better in your hand, which phone you're going to use better for front-facing cameras, back cameras, which phone you're going to want to listen to your music on. Whatever it is, it's decision time. Which one of these flagship phones are better? Now, under a lot of real testing and deciding which camera is the best, I prefer LG's, and pretty much that made me come up with my decision, because as well as the camera performs and everything, the battery life is just not there. Now LG gives you an opportunity to change out batteries, which is good, but at the same time, that extra battery just doesn't come in the box. Now, there's a way you can order it and get it free or whatever it is. LG knows most people ain't gonna do that. The battery life is suffering on this phone. Battery life is awesome on this phone. You know, it's a really hard choice which phone is better, but because of the battery life, unfortunately, you know, for LG, Samsung got it going with the camera, Samsung got it going with the S Pen, the speaker, and everything. So overall, over everything, all of the sighting in the world, I gotta give it to Samsung. Samsung definitely won this one. It got a lot going on. It got the fingerprint done right. So many things done right on this Samsung over the LG. The V10 has put up a big fight, and if it wasn't for the battery life being so bad compared to the Note 5, maybe it would have been a different story. So for now, Samsung wins this battle. LG will be back next year. See you guys in the next one.